District Number 3,
Aren't you gonna see this out here?
oh yeah, well, I don't know if you do the drainage or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not on there,
Oh, okay.
I included it.
Okay.
So we're just gonna do the drainage meeting first and then go down to the.
Oh, wait, she's got to listen to it. Yeah, we'll do the drainage meeting. We need to approve the March 15th, 2022 agenda.
Any changes?
Any changes?
I don't have any.
Motion and a second to approve the agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. March 1, 2022 minutes of the drainage. District Number 3. Corrections or anything for anybody? I would take a motion. Motion, support. And support. All those in favor? Say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Review 28E agreement between Iowa Department of Agriculture, Osceola, and Dickinson counties and acting as trustees for joint drainage district number 3. Is that in the stuff here?
Yep, this should be the first one. Nolan reviewed if I have his notes in there as well. But we really can't officially approve it, I think it has to be a joint meeting. Is that
Yep.
correct, Ed? So we
Yep.
just let you guys can review it.
Okay.
If there's any changes, then
Are you guys seeing anything?
I didn't see anything about that.
Well, I guess we need to discuss a drainage attorney to review this 28E agreement.
the only question I had, we have Brian Young, I don't know what Dickinson County uses, and maybe it doesn't matter, since most of the cost will be coming out of Osceola County residents. That was my question, I guess I
Well,
didn't
it
know
all
that.
comes out of here because it's all getting done, so they're not getting assessed or
Right.
anything anyway, so.
Right, but they probably would they have to
If they want their
drainage
drainage
attorney?
attorney to review it, he'd have to look at it, they'd have to pay for that, but.
Yeah,
We're acting jointly as trustees for one district, we're not acting as separate boards.
But they wanna review it separately for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I don't
They
think-
wanted
I
their
don't think
county
it's-
attorney to review it, but I don't know about their drainage. I didn't talk to Lori about that.
I just don't think we should, the district residents pay for 2 attorneys to review it. As a joint board, we
Probably
should
not.
agree
No.
on an attorney then.
Do we need
So-
the drainage attorney to look at it?
If you're fine with approving it after I reviewed it, I didn't see any issues that were glaring. I think that my notes kind of speak for themselves on the topic. I just know that we had drainage council with that, so I didn't want anybody to feel that my toes have been stepped on or steps have been skipped.
What's your thoughts?
We just put it on the agenda for the joint meeting and see if they want the drainage attorney to review it, or if they're fine with whatever their county attorneys looked at with it.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me. You okay with that? That doesn't need to be a motion, does it?
And I'll just kind of reach out to Spencer, I guess, and see when would be the best to have joint meetings and drainage.
Sure.
Next week Tuesday, we got those 4 public hearings. Be here a
So
while.
you're saying we can do it that day, or we
We
can't?
can do it probably before the public hearing.
Like, right,
What-
day, or?
We could
Time for this public.
10, 10:30, 11:30, and 12.
So we can do it like at
Morning.
9:30?
9:30?
I'll see if that works for Dickinson.
I don't think it'd take very long. It's just the old form.
All right.
Better make a motion to adjourn the drainage meeting.
Motion to adjourn that drainage meeting? Also, and support. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Just
All right,
get roll call.
roll call. Mr. Jones?
Here.
Mr. Schulte?
Here.
Mr. Mayhew?
Here.
March 15th, 2022 agenda.
The other thing I have to delete is Sarah doesn't want to be compensated for her clerical duties for the zoning that she's been doing, so she asked that be taken off the agenda.
Which one is that?
Discuss compensation for Sarah Howard for zoning clerical, she just has to take that off the agenda.
All right, I would take a motion to accept those as deleted with the one deleted.
Make that motion.
I have a motion and support. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. March 8th, 2022 minutes. Everybody have a chance to look at those?
I make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve those minutes. And support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Discuss AED for the ambulance. Sandy, I think that's you.
So, we have been looking at trying to, or I've been looking at trying to put another AED in the courthouse. We took a refurbished AED that we had in our transit van, and we brought it upstairs and we put it in Nolan's office. Just because of, the different trials and stuff that we were having. So what is out there is this AED. This comes from American Heart. Very easy to use. By opening it up, it's just got to you turn it on. It's got a nice little feature. It'll talk to you if you choose to. And it's just pull the red handle, the pads are underneath there, and then apply them just as if it tells you if it's shockable rhythm. It just has one button that shocks it just like that. The cost of this unit is $13.99, and to get a cabinet like the one that's hanging on your wall is $129 through the American Heart. So the county would have invested about $1,500 into this unit, about $1,538. So that's kind of what's out there. That's probably the cheapest AED out there. There was one grant that was through POET right now, and it's $1,000. But I had some really nice church ladies come up to me in Ocheaton, and they were looking for grant money to put an AED in their community building, so that's where they have dinner date. And so I used my card on that to help them get that. And so, and I don't know of anything else. I am trying to update my AED from that transit van by using, going through that CARES Connection grant that's out there. She did say, I talked to her yesterday, and it's kind of a unique situation. It's not really even a grant, because usually with grants you have to purchase the stuff, submit all your invoices in, and then you'll get reimbursed. This one, they are just asking for quote prices, and if it's approved, then they'll send you the money, and then you can go ahead and purchase stuff. So I was kind of looking at that to see, and if I get one, if they approve of that, then, the refurbished one can either stay in Nolan's office or, but the problem is if you go with a cheaper one like we did with, I think that's the one upstairs and we had before, is the pads are very expensive, and so are the batteries. So, but these look like a pretty big battery pack, and I'm not really for sure what that costs. Like we were talking earlier, batteries are pretty expensive.
Is there any money out there for ICAP? I know the fairgrounds always get some money.
They've got $1,000 too.
what was that? Was to have we used that?
Actually, Jerry, this belongs out to the fairgrounds.
Or nobody's there. Nobody's
Yeah,
there.
yours is sitting in my office. This is the
That's
fairgrounds.
fine.
But remember those yellow ones that we flooded everybody with? Well, they stopped making them. Of course they did, because that's probably why they were so cheap at the time. But we put them in the churches and everything, and we charged the churches $100. Well, now they're, the pads and batteries on that, you can buy the kit, and it's like $103 or something like that for one battery, one set of pads, which is quite nice, but they don't make those anymore.
So they are still serviceable, or you
But
still continue
no,
to have them working, or is
yeah,
it-
you can buy the pads
you just-
and the battery, but they won't service it. The fairgrounds had one too, and when we went to look at it, it had a couple of bars and all kinds of little things, but it was still under factory warranty, and that's why you got this new one here, so hopefully we'll get that out there this summer for you guys. Yeah, so anyway, I wanted to put that out there, you guys can just decide what you wanna do, and, I'll keep looking right now and see what we can do to help you out. They were just really nice church ladies, they really worked really hard to say no to them, so, but I know you guys could use it too.
Sandy does a great job trying to get grants. A lot of sleepless nights over those grant writing stuff.
Yeah.
She
It was,
does a
I
good
had a
job.
little emotional breakdown though last week, so too many of them came due at the same time, so, yeah. Anyway.
I'm not against doing anything. Is there any way we can work this fairgrounds deal out with someone else? You know, we really only need it.
Oh, yeah, you can do with it whatever you want to.
Well-
Actually, you can charge them $100 too, you know, if you wanna
We
charge
don't,
the
I mean, I'm just saying, we basically only need it a week out of the whole year. I mean, is
Right.
there someone else that,
But you have other groups that use the fairgrounds, don't you?
yes and no, but,
Yeah, you should sure.
just something that.
Yeah, no, that would definitely be something we can think about and do, sure. I just think that with, you know, with everything going on in the world, you never know. I mean, yes, it is just upstairs and this one's here, but sometimes, you know, running down the flight of steps or trying to tell somebody where it's at, you know, it's behind the door. I don't think it's even, the alarm goes off anymore, does it?
No.
No. But yeah, this one one came from one of the deputies' vehicles, so this is, that red one is a refurbished one, and then the one upstairs in Nolan's office is one you guys purchased, or we purchased through a grant by a long time ago. So it's up to you guys, I'll just let it ride.
Thoughts, comments, Jason? Mike?
I think we should have a good one up there.
They want to think about it? Or you wanna do
Yeah,
something?
and maybe you wanna ask the fairground if,
Question for you, maybe I should know this, has it been out there?
ever, no.
I was gonna say, I don't think I've ever seen it.
No, because the first year you got it, they didn't have time, I think that was the time you had some backed up sewer problems, and so nobody had time to just kind of go through it. And then 2020 happened, and then, last year when we went to bring it out there, then we noticed that it had all those things, bars and icons up, so you couldn't use it last year until it came, so, yeah. So hopefully, this would be the first year, the summer that it would be able to use, and maybe with all the, you know, isn't it the big or,
Yeah.
you know, there's a lot going on out there, we probably should put something out there. But then usually like the demo derby and some of those other things, events, you got, the fire trucks are out there, and I think they're equipped with an AED, right? And, so
firehouse for that week?
Yeah, you could, if that would be
Just a
all right with
thought.
those guys, yeah.
I mean, I know we got other groups, and I know there's other things going on, but it's
Yeah,
probably gonna be locked in the secretary's office, so most people, unless we're all there, aren't gonna be able to get at it anyway.
okay,
Or would you,
right,
you just couldn't place it anyplace,
yeah.
could you?
Yeah, you should have pretty much somebody should have access, like either someplace, you know, that's opened all the time, maybe in the 4-H building or.
Do they have to be in a controlled environment like with heat?
Right, it does have to be
Climate
heat and
control.
climate controlled,
That
yeah.
would be our issue.
Yeah.
We don't heat nothing in the winter time, you know?
Yeah, you'll probably just have to take it home, or somebody will have to take it home with them. But I think that's a good idea too, if you just wanna use the one from, you know, upstairs or whatever you wanna do.
I'd say that's probably better to swap it back and forth.
What you guys wanna do? All right, we're gonna work on that later.
Pardon?
Maybe just swap it out when you need it.
Sure.
Go from
Yeah,
there.
no, I think that's a good idea.
Maybe there'll be another grant that comes along.
At least you know it's being used,
Yeah.
and we can put a little sticker on it that says Osceola County Fair or something on it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
All right.
Thanks, Sandy.
You bet.
Got our 9 o'clock, Melvin Fire Department new building. Kyle, you're up.
I gotta sit in the hot seat
Yep.
Yep.
Good morning, thanks for having me. Here on behalf of the Mountain Fire Department. Some of you may or may not know, we are raising money to put addition onto our fire station. The reason for that is our building is 40 years old with 40-year-old trucks. We can get newer trucks, but they do not fit in our station. They're too long, too tall, etc. We've begun raising money for this since last July. We're about $140,000 towards the project, about $250,000 as a goal. We have been dealing with the townships on their tax valuation with those guys. We're doing that avenue. We are doing certain grants. Problem is you run into bigger grants, they want that kind of stuff engineered, and it drives our cost way up. Not that we're trying to cut corners, but just have the builder to build a shed helps justify economic sense, I guess. So what I was just curious on behalf of the day is why I'm here is if there's anything that the county can do to help support that. I don't have a dollar amount or any suggestions on that. Then I was also pondering, you know, if you're looking at me and go, why should we give money to Melvin? It might be as needed for the whole county. And there's how many fire departments in the county, and you just want a rotation if you have it in the budget. You know, X amount of dollars a year, and then say every 10 years it's your turn, as long as that department or entity can justify the funds. It's just food for thought.
I appreciate you thinking on the wider scale.
Yep.
No, it's,
Because I was coming in here like, why should we just give Melvin money? But you take May City, and all those departments and entities, they all raise money and try really hard at fundraising. But the equipment, gear and stuff, is so expensive, and they can only raise so much.
Where are you guys at with your fire levy?
That I can't answer that this morning. Can get back to you on that. Another guy that's, so I'm one of 7 on this building committee. A couple other ones are working on that part of it.
Because I know in Bay City, we still got quite a bit of room left in our levy for anything that we would need to do for improvements that we couldn't raise money for.
You know, like I said, not May City, for example, needed money, but say in 5 years they do, you know, if it was something budgeted.
Cal, maybe you wanna tell them about, we have some counties in O'Brien County,
Oh, yeah, or,
and they, I don't know if they've ever been levied for it, but they've come forward offering money.
correct, a couple guys met
You
with
can
them,
explain
those,
that better than I can.
trustees a few weeks ago, and they actually matched their is out. Because we've never approached them for anything like that before.
We cover so many townships in Lorraine County. I should say townships, sections.
Yes, sections, I believe there's 5 sections in Grant County.
Some private individuals provided funding to kind of offset that area that's covered in Bryan County, or am I not following you right there?
Nope, their township, I can't remember the name of the town. Lincoln?
Lincoln.
The 4 or 5 sections, those 3 trustees out of Lincoln, they justified the money to go back towards the mountain fire
Coming
protection.
from the township.
Yes.
So, do you guys have more than one? Do you guys have, how many townships are you covering?
3,
3?
Galway, Baker, and Lincoln, and O'Brien.
So then you've got your levy money from the city of Melvin then too, with the agreement with the township,
Correct.
but you don't know where you're at with those
Do
levy
not.
amounts.
I didn't want to come in with a bunch of stats and bore you, I just wanted to make it simple. Just explain where we're at, because I understand you know the budget, stuff's already done, but maybe just going forward.
You boring me would be a first.
Thoughts, questions for Kyle?
I think we should think about it.
Do you want Kyle to get those figures and come back to us again, or
Yeah,
just get those
I'd
figures?
kinda like to know where you're at with your levy limit.
I can do that.
Rochelle, would you know that, just off the...
Yeah, the townships, you know, Chantry has that, I just don't know if those townships give to another fire department, you know what I mean? If GOE gives part to Ashton too, and,
It'll be broke down in there, when you look it up, what townships are for each fire department, it'll be broken down,
yeah.
the percentage.
Unfortunately, the township, today is the last, I mean, they're done.
Right,
Today's
no,
the last
yeah,
day,
we
but,
understand that.
I didn't know if any of them increased it or not, I don't know for sure. GOE, if they increase their township levy,
Because I know there's a little bit of wiggle room in Baker yet,
okay,
but I understand, yeah, that's
Yeah.
all done for
yeah.
this
yeah.
year.
Chantry would know that, if they increased their levy from last year to this year.
Gotcha.
But, you know, the valuations dropped and they were also increasing the levy. So if I had to increase it just to make up because of the valuation law, but
They went up in town though, right?
some of them, yes, the road went down, so.
And it's my understanding too, there's only a certain, they can only have a certain mark per thousand.
Yes,
correct?
yes. 67 cents? I don't know.
Could be.
Something in that, it's only what you can only raise the township, the townships can raise.
But yeah, I can definitely get some other numbers and reconvene on this.
That would be awesome.
Any wishes? Any questions, anybody else for Kyle?
Right now.
All right.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you, Kyle, thanks for coming in. Next. Consider estimates for clerk of courts office repairs.
It's all in your packet there. Ernie's been working with that, he's been doing a great job trying to get these estimates, it's been a struggle for him. A struggle, because not a lot of them have the time or staff to do it, you know, like, explain it a little bit.
You got 3 estimates right now. Fisher opt out, and the Odd Brothers opt out. Now you got Aries, you got H&H, and you got Adam Martin.
Who's this Adam Martin?
Adam Martin works by himself.
Yeah.
Berkeley's, I think, and then
I don't know if
he used to be on the
working
conservation.
or not, I don't.
No, he lives in Ashland.
Yeah, he doesn't live on Cheatham anymore.
He doesn't?
No, they're divorced.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't know that, sorry.
And Adam's bid, you know, it included the electric, and we got a Hendricks and Harms, we got one in there for current electric, which will be, that bid is a little bit cheaper with Hendricks, Harms, and Hendricks.
Mhm.
You just put current right in that, with that one, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And, you know, the reason they're only estimates, because they just don't know what that one wall is gonna look like, that west wall.
Once
right?
they remove all the panels.
We're just concerned. That's why it's only estimates right now.
Now, the total price on Arnie's, including the carpet, $7,575. But he doesn't include the electricity or the painting on that bid.
What was that figure?
$7,575.71.
Plus electric.
No electric
No electric.
and no painting.
And you can't get at it for,
And he's booked through the whole spring, but he won't be able to get to it anytime soon. Harms and Hendricks, the total price, including carpet, $11,150.89.
Plus electric.
That includes electricity and carpet.
Oh, okay.
And Adam Martin, including the carpet, electricity, $12,996.81.
And who was it that could do it right away?
Adam Martin and Harms and Hendricks. Now, Adam Martin, it's a one-man show. So
Yeah.
he could take a little bit longer than Harms and Hendricks.
Well, according to my figures, Adam's just a high bid, right?
Yes.
And these are not bids.
What's that?
Just to know, these are not bids.
No, I get it.
I understand, don't know what we're getting into.
Yeah. Yeah, once you take that panel
Right,
off,
no, right.
yeah, once you take the panel off, you don't know what you're gonna get into.
And Artie's can't do it,
Right.
basically.
His time frame is not available.
And did Harms and Hendricks say how much per hour it would be if there was much more to do? Like I see on Adams,
yeah.
they have a labor rate down.
Right. And now we didn't put on hours and rates.
So you're gonna have to dig into it first before you know for sure what.
The biggest problem I see is that east wall. But they're gonna rebuild that wall anyway, so.
Is that paneling going back up, or
Nope.
no?
All the paneling's coming off.
Hopefully they can match it and get a texture, so that,
Yeah.
that's a concern too.
Well, it's probably not gonna be perfect.
No, but as long as we can get it close.
Close, that's great.
Would it be better to pop off that paneling first, see what's behind there, and see what everybody thinks it's gonna cost, or is that too labor intensive to peel out?
That's gonna be labor intense because all the electrical's on the outside of that panel.
Thoughts?
Let the state take care of it.
Yeah. It looks to me, I think I'd go with Harms and Hendricks.
That's my thoughts too.
So when can they start?
They can start whenever we're ready.
And they're hoping it would take a week is what their hope is to have it done, but you know, depending on what they find, it could be
Yeah.
longer than that.
The construction will take a week, but then you got carpet will take probably at least another 4 or 5 days.
Where are they getting housed and while they're working on that?
Angie said they can go upstairs.
They'll have computer access
Yep.
and everything?
They'll have everything available.
Ernie has started moving some of the file cabinets out of there.
Yeah.
I talked to her the other day, she didn't have a problem moving upstairs. Had moved quite a little bit of it already.
Yes, we have.
They're just excited to
I can
get it
get it done.
painted and get it
Yep.
done.
I don't know, do you think, those inside walls will be so terrible?
I don't
I
think so.
looked at it the other day, I don't think the inside.
I don't think the inside, just that east wall.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Could you get, what Harms and Henrik's hourly rate would be, anything outside of what was
I can.
figured?
That'd be nice to
I
know.
don't think it would hurt to know
Okay.
what we'd be looking at there, but, I mean, I'd say within $5-10 an hour,
Well,
you got
just about $2,000 over it, I think.
Yeah. So I guess I'm not trying to hold it up, but if he wants to check and it's within $10 of the other one, then I'd say go forward. If we wanted to get that information and come back, do that.
Give them a call and come back to us.
Yep, I can do that.
Just table that for the time being.
Table that until we get that info.
Okay.
You're gonna do that right away, then?
Yes, I will.
Okay, thank you.
This one's 10-5.
So someone's gonna check and put that.
I thought you said it was 12. 12. That one on Martinez.
That was
Split
12, 9.
12, just about 13.
Yeah. 12, 9, 96, 81.
How come the grand total on that thing says 10-5?
That doesn't include the
It doesn't include carpet.
floor.
So carpet flooring would bring me up to
Yep. Here's carpet, 24, just about 25.
Did you get any assistance from the state on that?
They're moving that box
Yeah.
at their cost, not the county's.
Okay, appoint office manager in the engineer's office. I guess you're up.
Yeah. Thank you. As you know, we're trying to fill the office manager, accountant position in the secondary roads, department. I appreciate everyone's feedback. We have not made any, formal, job offers to any applicants yet. And so what I wanna do is, without naming names, visit with you folks. I did visit with one applicant that does not reside in Osceola County, and there's probably no intention of them relocating. They own their home, and one of their spouses grew up in that location, so, but that is probably the most qualified candidate, you know, of the two that you've seen, and I appreciate your feedback. Sounds like everybody's kind of split, but I did visit with the one applicant outside of the county, and they've had some exposure to building permits, maybe a little bit of planning and zoning in their previous occupation, and so, you know, that sounds like from the interviews for the engineer's position, that is gonna reside in the engineer's department. So if you find yourself in a transition period again in the near future, or, you know, in the future, that applicant would be opposed to doing some of that. So, with that being said, I guess I would open it up for discussion from you folks, if somebody has a leaning one way or the other. But we would like to leave here and get that position filled, make a formal offer to one of the two that you've seen. So,
Looking at the resumes, I like the idea of working with FEMA before, and I think that's a big plus, because that can get us in a lot of trouble.
and then I'd like to say that we're all done with FEMA, we won't see them at FEMA events, but
Good luck.
unfortunately, I'm not sure when the next one's around the corner, so.
I'd say go with qualifications, personally.
I would probably agree with that too, just because you're gonna have a new engineer, and you're gonna want the most qualified person in there, because you don't have time to train them both, because that other
want them to hit the ground running, your engineer, and, you know, if they're waiting for to get their license, because both of those candidates will need some county engineering experience to get through and, you know, some mentoring until they can get their, obtain their PE license, so, yeah, I think that's, you know, you're very correct in what you're saying, that would be more help to them.
Because I don't see a big drop off between the two top applicants, and to me, that living within the county would be a major factor at that point. I think both are equally capable of stepping into that position and doing well, so I would favor the one that would reside in the county.
I don't think where you live makes you any better or any less of a candidate. We have plenty of people that work here that don't live in the county.
Plenty? How many?
Well, our assistant engineer, I believe the gal up in the attorney's office doesn't live in the county either.
That's two out of how many county employees?
And there's a deputy that doesn't.
Then there's a deputy that
When
doesn't,
his son graduates as part of employment.
but it's
I
not,
think we're going down a
it's not
poor road and
it's not a
No offense,
qualification.
Roger. I know we get quality applicants, but
It's not a qualification for employment to live in the county. It's the most
and I
qualified
think
person
it'd
that
be a
you
good
can get
policy to
hired.
put in place to do that, but.
But, you know, we
When
let
you
the
do
sheriff's
that.
department go 45 minutes outside to get somebody here, so that includes letting people work here from Lyon and O'Brien. And I don't wanna turn away qualified help just because
I
they don't
don't-
live in the county.
I guess my thoughts are, not that, because they live in the county, I think they're both pretty equal. So I'm not saying we should hire in the county, but I would say the qualifications are basically, to me, the same.
That's
Maybe-
what
maybe
I
I'm looking
most
wrong.
of it.
I didn't see them as the same.
Now that didn't help you any, did it?
You are right, I don't wanna make an offer that we can't, you know, move forward with that, so that's why I wanted to.
And I get, I'll accept whatever, I told you that on the phone, whatever you guys accept, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
You guys are doing it, and I'm, so.
Right. I do think with the one applicant that is inside the county, I think their passion is really for the EMT, part of that, and, you know, I think if there was a position with the county that would utilize that passion, I think that might possibly be a better fit for them.
You guys did the interview, you have a better feel than what we do.
And Roger, you might post that in on the, so if there's any questions or if you want comments from those folks, and that, and Sarah did as well, so, because she does the job, and so we figured she'd have some good, questions to ask.
I think between all of you, you could probably figure out who's the most qualified for that position and what would make the easiest transition from Sarah to the new person and with the new engineer coming in.
And the reason why I want Sarah there too, because we're counting on Sarah to do some training, and so, you know, can she work with either of the applicants, you know, I mean, that's a big key there too, so, and I told Roger and Mike that I value a lot of their input, because they're gonna have to be working, Sarah will be working upstairs, and, you know, I'll be back in Clay County when you guys, you know, hired your engineers, so them two have to work with the new person that we hire, you know, so.
Thoughts or comments from you two? No? I'm not good with either one. I think we're lucky we got the apps we did.
I mean, it's a good problem, kind of like you guys with the engineers, we got some good applicants, and so I guess, we'll make an offer to one of them and move forward with that. I guess we'll make an offer to, hopefully support, because what we'll do is we'll
I'm gonna
bring
check
it
out.
to officially, I guess, next board meeting is 22nd. So,
I'll support either one.
Yeah, I trust your guys' judgment, I think it's just a bigger picture here,
yep,
so.
no, and I appreciate the comments.
I'll make a motion that, residency be considered given equal qualifications. And if residency isn't likely, then the financial offer reflects that.
But we don't do the hiring for that office, that's the
It's a
engineer.
recommendation to the engineer's office who's making the hire.
Run that by me again.
Motion to recommend the engineer's office that if qualifications are similar enough that residency be considered. And if the candidate being offered is not going to live in the county, then there be financial offset.
I don't like the idea of turning away qualified help, but
Have a motion on the floor, and have a second for that. All those in favor?
I,
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Right,
Use your best judgment.
Yeah.
thank you, gentlemen.
it's your guys' decision, do what you want with it.
That's what I told you that before.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, we're gonna discuss mowing the Enterprise Park.
We got enough time.
So you guys discuss. Okay.
Leroy, is that your
Fine.
yeah, well, I mentioned it, he hammered and asked me if he's going to be able to mow that again. And every year he gets a little bit less, and there's not a whole lot to get that north of his.
I guess what's his
So,
question?
he just wanted to know because he's got to have the insurance and stuff like that to turn in.
He doesn't get paid, he just gets,
No, he takes it for the season.
he has to turn the certificate of insurance into me so that I know that he has insurance.
I don't
He
have a
does.
problem with that.
But they- nobody else has showed any other interest in it, so
We haven't advertised it either, but I haven't, no one's come to me and,
do we need to, or do we?
I don't know.
He just has to,
Right,
Have we in the
it's
past?
publicly owned ground, I think we only took action for 1 year, so yeah, I think action would be.
usually does it a year at a time. And I don't, he hasn't been in yet.
I've not seen him.
He said he would, once he finds out, he would bring his insurance papers or whatever he does.
And we just give it to him, right?
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't, we do not pay him.
And then out there, did you ever check that tile out there? Was there a tile that was broken or something?
On Enterprise Park,
Yeah,
isn't that, just to the north there, didn't Rocky
I
fix
thought
that?
Rocky fixed it.
Isn't that the one that you're talking about, I believe?
Yeah. He said he mowed around it because it was,
And I think Rocky fixed it.
Yes, that was over a year ago, they
Yeah.
fixed that.
I thought he did. What's your guys' wishes on that?
I can check to see if we should advertise, I guess I don't know that answer to that question. I can definitely check.
he's been doing it for what, 2, 3 years?
In the past, that we just
I think he's just done
agreed
it.
it?
Yeah.
He usually does it on time, that keeps it looking a little neater, so.
I guess whatever we have to do,
Yeah.
that's my,
There you go.
I'll check into it.
Okay.
If we have to advertise or,
If you have to.
I'll check into it, okay?
okay? No more coffee for you.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot left. And you sure can't throw it away. Kill me.
Yes, we can.
It's meant for, right?
Gotta have one place.
You only got one.
Yeah.
Bill, or William, did we make that clear as mud for you now?
Yes, I
I'm sorry,
Actually, you did, because if I do make an offer, I know clearly that the pay range has gotta be, I mean, if you guys pass that, that's the floor. So if they decide they're gonna stay there, so Yeah, no, we'll move forward, we'll get it done.
Just do what's best for the office.
You guys are the smart ones.
Yep. Isn't that nice being surrounded by such intelligence?
Yes. They're rubbing off on me. No, it's good, I appreciate the conversation, that way get everything on the table, you know, what everybody's concerns, so, you know, if you need to make an effort and, you don't get approved, you know,
Well, you
that
gotta
makes
get
it look
the-
good either, you know.
I'll just say, I've yet to have a conversation with a resident that says residency doesn't matter.
And then I get that too, because when I worked in Clay County at the time, that was a requirement, but when I came to work there, but we had people that don't live in the county, that work for the county too, so it's, you know, how do you have consistency too as well, and then, you know, but things are changing, you've opened it up for your engineer, you know, it's just, times are changing, I don't know, it's a different environment these days.
It is.
Like,
All right, you guys wanna go into,
We can ask him, we can ask if he wants to go into closed session or not, if he didn't mark
what's your guys' wishes? Wanna
it
go?
for him.
I think I differ with Jack on this, which is dangerous territory, but I don't think this applicant has requested closed session, so I question the use of it. But if it
We can ask him.
opens us up to discussing where other names get mentioned, then yes, we need to be in closed session.
Should we ask him?
Yeah, Jack said it was up to him, but
I would say just for our purposes, it's probably better not to be anyway, so can I leave this here to let you guys do discuss these things and open it? It's off now,
okay.
so if you just wanna get rid of it, turn it back on.
Okay.
The first one.
Be awesome, thank you. That way.
All the way- It's got all the way from the action back up all the way to
Okay.
822.
I can't report anything I'm not supposed to from that area.
We are done with closed session.
I'll go with that, I just wanna know which part of it was.
I was going to look at it.
Keep
back
right
to that.
That's right, Jack,
Call me
I
last
talked to
night.
Jack the other day.
I'll go with
So, yeah, just check it out.
We requested
I
and
do like that.
Yep.
I think it was.
There's the hot seat. Keep Brand.
You need to write any more?
Keep Brand, nice to meet you.
Jerry Helmers.
Keep Brand, yep.
We need to go into
Hi,
closed session.
I'm Rochelle Van Tilburg, County Auditor.
So wait till it gets back from legal.
To the auditor's office.
Good, that gives me time for more coffee.
No more coffee for you.
Would you like coffee?
No, thank you.
See, I think I'm not the only one.
Oh, I'm getting down towards the bottom.
Did you drive up? We drove up, so. Did you? Yeah. It was a week.
Yeah, going down the hall, going in. Coming out.
Very good.
Coming out, it's not.